Good evening everyone, it's Haruka here. How are you all doing tonight? I'm currently broadcasting to you while enjoying breakfast at the Station Hotel Tokyo. Now today is a little different from usual. Our theme is Haruka's Grand Adventure. You see, I sometimes do things that are quite unexpected. Things that might make you say, "You did what?" I want to share some of those surprising experiences with you tonight. And today, unlike usual, I'm going to be answering some of your comments. The message I'll be reading tonight is from Jazz Master Gentleman. Thank you so much for always tuning in. Their question is, "Hello Haruka, I always enjoy watching your videos. I'm curious what perfume you usually wear. I think scent defines an impression. So what kind of scent do you use to express yourself, Haruka?" What a wonderful and personal comment. Thank you. Currently, I'm wearing a perfume from the fashion brand Victor and Rolf called, what was it again? Flower Bomb, I think. It's a lovely scent with a strong, almost skin-like quality. And the bottle is pink. Before Victor and Rolf, I wore Santa Maria Novella from Florence, Italy. It's a brand that originated from a monastery selling beautiful herbal scented perfumes and soaps. I use their patchouli perfume, which is based on the scent of aromatic wood. And before that, a bit cliché, perhaps, but I wore Hermès. I suppose Hermès perfumes have a certain luxurious, or rather a high-end appeal. I wanted to attract men who liked sophisticated women, so I chose Hermès. With Santa Maria Novella, I was more drawn to a natural, authentic vibe, wanting something with a lot of originality. And now, with Victor and Rolf, I adore their fashion line, and wearing their perfume makes me feel like I'm embodying the brand itself. So, Jazzmaster-san, if my scent, my expression, if you will, resonates with you. All three of these perfumes are quite widely available. I hope you'll have fun at the shops, perhaps wondering, is this what Haruka smells like? I'd love to introduce more of your messages like this in my broadcasts, so please keep them coming. Now, as I said, tonight's theme is Haruka's Grand Adventure. And speaking of perfumes, there was a time back when I was wearing Hermès when I had a desire to, let's just say, be with men who seemed a bit more affluent. Back then, I'd post on online forums or chat with men through two-shot video calls. To put it bluntly, most of them were, well, of a certain calibre. They were often men who struggled to find partners through conventional means, perhaps physically or mentally. Of course, there were some lovely people among them, but to use a baseball analogy, my batting average was incredibly low. And when they did show up, it was often a case of, "Oh, this is what you're like." I started to feel the limitations of these platforms for finding a connection. I looked into various options, talked to different people. I even considered working in nightlife and went for interviews, but I couldn't bring myself to go through with it. The idea of intimacy with numerous strangers, combined with my low alcohol tolerance, just wasn't for me. So I thought, what if I registered with a date club or an escort agency? These places are very expensive for men, so I thought I might meet men of a certain financial standing, perhaps high-class men. Of course, as I am physically male, there aren't many agencies that cater to specialised individuals like me. I was mostly rejected, whether I called, emailed or filled out online forms. But I didn't give up. I kept trying to register, searching and reaching out. And surprisingly, I actually got a response from two places, asking me to come in for a chat or a photo shoot. Can you believe it? One of them was in a multi-tenant building, a short walk from JR Shimbashi station. There, I had a conversation, introducing myself, talking about what kind of men I liked, and learning about their rules and etiquette, how meetings would be arranged, what was allowed and what wasn't. Then I was led to a simple studio for a photo shoot, and my profile was registered on their site. It was all very straightforward, almost like an assembly line process. I imagine they registered other cross-dressers and trans individuals too. It all felt rather anticlimactic, to be honest. No inquiries or meeting requests ever came from that one. It was registered, but then nothing. Just silence. A bit of an anticlimax, really. The other place was a much larger, more extensive agency, with many women registered on its site. It was still an escort agency, but a smaller, more exclusive one, almost like they were curated. So I was quite surprised when they contacted me, asking me to come in for a chat at their office. This one was in Nishiazabu. I remember taking a taxi, going down the hill from Roppongi, and getting off at a crossroads near the studio. It turned out to be the office of the agency's president. Unlike the Shimbashi place, where it was just a regular staff member, here I was greeted by a very well-dressed, handsome man in a sharp suit, with a neat hairstyle. He asked about my background and reasons for wanting to register. He was incredibly open-minded. He said that if someone was attractive, gender didn't matter at all and that I was okay. He listened to my story with great interest. We even did some photo shoots on the spot, and he made the atmosphere very comfortable, even exciting. When the conversation turned a bit more intimate, he even hinted at what kind of encounters might happen, and we engaged in some playful, flirtatious interactions, though nothing went all the way. It was an interesting experience, to say the least. He explained that while I'd be registered, he often invited a few registered girls, including people like me, to dinners with his venture capitalist friends and other investors. And I was actually invited twice. I wasn't entirely sure what kind of company he ran, and the conversations were often things I probably shouldn't discuss on this radio show. So I mostly just smiled politely, sitting next to the men. If a man reached under my skirt, I'd discreetly allow it, trying to appear a little embarrassed. If I caught someone's attention, these dinners often took place at hotel bars or restaurants. Afterwards, I'd sometimes go up to their hotel room and serve them a couple of times. It's probably not appropriate to go into the intricacies of those business dealings here, but I did learn a lot about industries I knew nothing about. And of course, being treated as a kind of commodity, it's not like I didn't have feelings about it. I wished to be seen as Haruka, as an individual, and my dignity was important to me. However, there was also a part of me that felt a strange sense of validation, of approval, from being desired by these high-ranking individuals and the president himself. Call it an approval craving, if you will. It felt surprisingly good. Even if it wasn't the ideal version of myself, being seen as a woman worthy of their attention made me happy. So the first time I was invited, I was incredibly excited. We were intimate, and it ended. But I didn't get any pocket money, and no continuous relationship developed. So I felt a bit empty. The second time, I again found myself thrilled to be desired, feeling a bit carried away. But then I started to struggle. I couldn't bear being treated as an object, and I couldn't quite rationalize it away as just a temporary means to earn money or connect with high-ranking men. Ultimately, I couldn't commit to that mindset. So the third time I was invited, I said my schedule didn't align, and they never contacted me again. I truly respect minato kujoshi, or sugar babies, who can consistently earn money and be desired in that way. It's something I admire, but I just couldn't do it. It's not that I look down on them or think I'm better than them. It's just that I have this complicated self-perception of wanting to be respected as Haruka, as an independent woman. And even with high-class men, I just couldn't quite tolerate being seen as a thing, even if it was just a little bit. Realizing that was perhaps the good thing that came out of registering with that escort agency. And that's why afterward I changed my perfume to Santa Maria Novella, a scent that not many people wear. Alright, please listen to the rest of the story. That's all for today. Goodbye for now and see you next time. Bye bye.